Welcome to Clientele Conversations, the podcast for exceptional Southern Black men. Join us as we delve into vital topics, including mental health, relationships, finance, self-care, and entrepreneurship. Welcome to Clientele Conversations, the podcast for exceptional Southern Black men. I'm your host, Josh Levitt, with my co-host.
Your boy, Royce Massengill, baby.
And today we do have a special guest in the building, but before we introduce him, let's talk about the topics that we will be covering today. The influence of location on creativity, challenges of being a photographer of color, and freelancing in photography in general. But let's go ahead and introduce our guest. So he's a published photographer based in Nashville, and if you are a model or have been a model in a previous life or in a previous time, he has probably shot you. Kapow! But he is also a small business owner, and he also serves as a producer and designer for the clothing brand Vintage Gold.
Correct.
Go.
Yes. So without further ado, let me introduce Mr. Tavell Brown.
And let's add a legend to that. Let's add a Nashville legend. You know what I'm saying? Nashville lens legend in the building, man. Welcome.
Appreciate it.
Haven't seen this man in years, but we keep an eye on you, man. You feel what I'm saying? And
Yes, sir.
this man been doing. Yeah, we about to get down to it, man. Welcome to Clean Cut Conversation.
Appreciate y'all having me.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
no. I appreciate us being your first interview. Real interview.
Yeah. First interview.
See?
Number one.
So things will be said. And don't get offended because he's very outspoken.
There's a lot of history.
Yes. There's a lot of history.
Real talk.
But he's going to give you the real talk of Nashville.
Yeah, I mean, I got an opinion. I just keep it to myself unless somebody asks for it. So.
Well, we want to hear it. We want to hear it. So let me ask you, before we start this thing, do you have any upcoming projects right now?
I wouldn't say any upcoming projects because I kind of took a backseat as far as when it comes to my photography.
Okay.
Just other things that I'm focused on.
Yeah.
But my Vintage Gold, doing that line with Inkwell is something that I'm really passionate about. So just be on the lookout with some of that stuff coming. Various, shirts and designs that we got dropping soon. But other than that, not really. I'm just out here. You know what I'm saying?
Nice. So let's just dive into it, man. Let's talk about your origins a little bit. Because,
Okay.
we know you, but we don't know you.
I understand.
Yeah.
So, you're originally from the West Coast.
Yes, sir.
What part and how did that environment influence your creativity?
I'm from Southern California.
SoCal.
You want to be specific. I was born Pomona, California.
Okay.
Grew up in Orange County,
All right.
all around Southern California. And when I graduated high school in 2001 is when I moved out here.
Got you.
So, it was a family thing. They were like, hey, we're moving to Nashville. And it was really nothing much I could do about it.
You didn't have family down here or nothing?
I mean, my grandparents are from here originally.
Okay.
My grandmother went to Pearl. My grandfather went to some high school. Don't
Pearl,
exist no more.
Yeah.
So they really from here. They was from out south in Nashville.
Oh, okay.
So, they I used to come here as a little kid and stuff like that. I never liked Nashville when I was a little kid, but I didn't really have much of a choice,
So let me ask you
that's
something.
real.
Do you feel that California is still the mecca for what we do? Because you come to Nashville.
Kinda, but with the internet, it changes that.
So let me ask you something. Do you ever miss being home to where you're like, yeah, I want to just leave Texas?
Yes, I miss
I'm about
home.
to say.
But do I want to live there? No,
Really?
definitely not. And the thing here, coming to Nashville in 2001 versus 2020, almost 2025 now.
Yeah.
It's a totally different place.
Yeah.
They've changed this city a lot with the whole tourism thing going on Second Ave and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
This is this city has a different feel than it did 10 years ago.
Raphael Sadiq said, "It never rains in Southern California." Is that true?
It rains.
It'd be raining
It
Right.
rains.
I wonder if he's talking about just a sad story or something like.
I mean, there's a lot of sad stories too. I don't know what he was talking about, to be honest.
I almost believed.
But-
I'm like, really?
No, it rains.
dry, okay.
El Nino is. That's referring to California. So it's a whole lot of rain going on out there.
So let me ask you something. Since you were forced to move here,
Yeah.
what were the biggest cultural differences you noticed when moving to Nashville?
Ooh.
In 2001 now,
Ooh.
not
Yeah.
2024.
No,
like, around
so I grew up, like I said, in Southern California. My high school was 3% black. So
that's worse than
yeah,
Oklahoma.
yeah. Think about
right.
that. 3% black
In California?
in California.
Were they Latinos?
Yes.
Okay.
Like it was like
okay.
40 to 60%. Everybody was, some type of Latino,
Yeah.
Mexican, something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that was, you go through my yearbook, you're gonna see Gonzalez's, Torres's, and stuff like that. You ain't gonna see a lot of black faces.
Yeah.
But where my grandmother lived at in Pomona, like it's it's kind of hood.
Yeah.
So it was a little different feel just when I would be at home with my mother versus going to my grandmother's house. And just coming here, just that whole like black people, like a lot of black people.
Yeah.
And then the whole you're black now and you know it. In California, I was black, but you don't really know that.
Yeah.
Like my homeboy, he's Mexican, I'm black, we go somewhere, nobody's looking at us
right
differently.
Yeah.
Right.
Coming here, if I go to Franklin,
yeah.
they looking at me a little different.
Yeah.
So getting over like real racism, I never had experienced anything racist happen till I moved here.
Wow.
Like,
okay.
I ain't never got called out my name.
Tennessee.
You know what I'm saying? Never got called out my name.
Yeah,
Here, it happened.
Mm.
And I had to like, kind of check myself because, they trying to get me out of character on something stupid.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's like, because Capo, he's a military brat.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
said.
Yeah.
And I mentioned in the previous episode that being a military brat is also a new color.
Yeah.
It's a new skin color.
Yeah.
And when you say around a bunch of Mexicans, it's like you already gravitated
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
towards them.
Like, I'd find it weird, like being here when I came and they would be like, oh, these people are coming in and taking our jobs. And that wasn't white folks. That was black people saying that.
Oh.
And I'm like, bruh, they say the same thing about you. You ain't,
you
ain't special.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what you doing and who you are ain't special. But here, when I moved here, I really realized what racism is. In California, I thought it was something racist, but it wasn't nothing because when the police stopped, they didn't look at you and me differently. Being, if you was Mexican or whatever, we got looked at the same. We hated the police just like anybody else hated the police.
Culture.
So that cultural difference when it comes to like race and stuff like that was kind of one of the biggest changes that, that I've seen.
So let me ask you something. Now, you have California, and they're really diverse in that location. Then you have New York, East Coast. They're pretty diverse, but do you feel the racism up there too, even though everybody's inclusive more than California? Because I know you visited.
I've been to a lot of places in my life, but the racism in the South is just different. You know what I'm saying? They are upfront and they'll tell you you're black.
Yeah. Sure will.
And you're like, oh, okay.
Thanks.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I can't take this off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like in other places, like they'll go home and call you a nigga, in their living room type shit.
No.
Not like here. Right. They'll say it to your face.
Yeah.
Wow. Because I know like with us, before we met, like we talked about the videography. And we talked about, I know with me in Nashville, it was overcoming stereotypes and breaking barriers here.
Right.
Constantly proving myself in a competitive environment.
Yep.
And overall just gaining confidence in myself to navigate myself through this industry here.
Yeah.
That's predominantly white.
Yeah, I mean, I experienced that like in my early career.
Yeah.
Because back then I was just shooting pictures.
Yeah.
Like in school, they called me the flower guy. I didn't want to shoot pictures of people.
Yeah.
People talk, move, they got attitudes. Who want to deal with that? I wanted to do product.
Yeah, I feel you.
And one thing that I really excelled with was shooting nature for some weird reason.
Interesting. So, I mean, being that you said that, I mean, that's a good segue because Was photography something you always wanted to do?
Negative.
Okay, so like, what inspired you to do that? Like, first of all, were you doing that in LA before you came to, not
No.
LA, but okay.
No.
So when you came to Nashville, that's when that photography sparked.
Yeah, so
like, what started that? Like,
so
because we got a story. There's a story. We were told how you get. Yeah, there's a story. Closer.
Yeah.
There's a story
There you go.
on
Okay.
how you got started, but we want to see if that correlates. And then
Oh,
we'll tell
you guys got a story? Cool.
Well, how you got started.
Okay, cool.
But we'll see if you'll name it.
So when I moved here, I wanted to get into advertising and marketing.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Like that was what I wanted to do. You know, my dream was to have my own marketing advertising firm.
Gotcha.
But at the time, it's 2001. Nobody's going to MTSU. It's still looked at as a racist school.
Mm.
Nobody's going to TSU.
Okay.
Because it's TSU.
Yeah, sure.
You know, no offense to TSU, but in 2001, it wasn't a desirable place to go to.
Gotcha.
I mean, and you go look at, you know, the other universities around in town, like it was nothing that was appealing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to understand, I'm in California in 2001.
Mm.
The internet is booming.
Mm.
Like we got people, like I'm designing websites and doing all kind of stuff like that in high school.
Gotcha.
I have been taking courses on that for years. I learned HTML, CSS,
yeah.
you know,
Okay.
JavaScript, all that stuff. I had
Yeah.
learned that. And, you know, when people were doing that here, they was behind the times.
Mm. Okay.
You know, when I came here, I had a SkyTel pager and people were looking at me like, whoa.
So let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Coming from SoCal, do you feel in our industry that they're more advanced?
Yeah. Yeah.
It seems like you can't look how he's operated, and,
Mhm.
and this was in school.
Yeah.
You was all this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Nobody told you had to do this.
No, I was just stuff that I liked,
Man.
you know.
but the hustle was there,
I mean,
right?
I didn't sell dope in school, but I
Mhm.
sold CDs in school.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know, I would make like
well, CDs.
$250 a week
Memorex,
just selling,
baby.
just selling
Yeah,
CDs.
yeah,
You know, like people talk about Napster and LimeWire. Like I would get my stuff set up,
yeah.
like for that new Eminem that's coming out,
Yeah.
and I have my downloads ready.
Already
I'd
ready.
leave for
Mm.
school, and it'd
Yep.
be downloading
Download
at
while
the
you
house.
in class.
Like I
Yeah.
mean, just think about it. It's 2001. How many people had a computer at their
Very
house?
rare,
Right.
No,
especially black folk.
yeah, I had a computer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, I would get on Napster. I would, you know,
Mm-hmm.
look at the shows and do stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was very,
98.
yeah, I was very interested in computers like all my life. So
Same.
I gravitated towards that. And when you came here, like I said, there's no slight to the schools, but their technology wasn't where it needed to be. And like I was looking around on what could I do to still be in that realm,
Yeah, yeah,
but not take these stupid classes that they got me taking.
yeah.
And that's when I started doing photography. I was like, yeah, you know, I really need to know what stuff look like, understand color and,
Yeah.
you know, composition and stuff like that. If you really want to do advertising and marketing, like that's a big part.
Now, what was your first camera that you just started?
My first camera was
Oh, the
a
camera.
Canon Elan 7,
Ooh.
and that was a film camera.
Okay. Dang.
Damn.
So,
So yeah,
yeah.
you did
Yeah.
one of them.
Yeah, I developed film and everything in school. So
So
when
you
people
just-
talk about, you know, you a
Yeah.
photographer and stuff like
Yeah.
that, like there's a level, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I developed film.
Mm.
Like-
Didn't you develop film?
Develop. I mean, I used to work at a place. Yeah. I got fired though. That's another. I couldn't work in the dark.
Yeah, I
My
mean,
hands weren't too good.
like I started doing that
Yeah.
in high school.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, we were doing pinhole cameras and stuff like
Yeah.
that, but it wasn't nothing like we doing now.
Right.
And I developed my own film. I would shoot pictures, do all that stuff. And then it gradually got into, you know, like 01, 03, where
Yeah.
the Canon 10D came out. So
Okay.
they had other digital cameras
Yeah.
at that point. But when the Canon 10D came out,
Mhm.
it was like $1,500. Like we could afford that. That was obtainable.
Yeah.
And that was like my first digital camera.
Okay.
And I just went to work.
Because
like,
the story,
once I got
because the
that.
quick story, you know what I'm saying, and I'm gonna say his name though, because he told us. But so Nina told us how he met you.
Yeah,
Like,
we lived next door to each
Yeah, I
other.
told him about he was out in the court, basketball court or something like that. I forgot. Or whatever.
Yeah, I used to
And he was
run.
seeing what
I
you
used
were
to
doing.
run him and his brother.
Yeah.
Like me
What
and
that
my
mean? What
me
you
and my
mean?
little cousin, we used to just beat everybody in the neighborhood.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Also, Nino can't ball then.
No, he can't. I don't
See,
know what lie he told
I
y'all.
thought, see, man,
Like I know
he told
y'all.
me he had that flick of the wrist.
I know y'all
Oh.
talk to somebody and you're like, oh, yo, you a little bit more in shape. But
Yeah.
you know, I played ball. Like I've been playing organized basketball since I was in 4th grade.
Yeah, you got to watch people
You know?
like him.
Yeah, I know,
you got to
right?
watch people
Like,
like him.
Yeah.
I could hoop. Like I was dunking in 11th grade. I know I'm fat now.
Yeah. I feel you.
Yeah, I could hoop. My little cousin, he could hoop, and we used to beat him and his brother and everybody else in the neighborhood all the time.
Dang, you know.
Yeah. So I was already doing photography when I met him.
Okay.
But he was like, rapping or whatever.
Right.
And I'm the one that was like, yo, let me take your pictures. And
That's
he's
right,
like,
yeah.
why you want to take my picture?
Yeah. That
Right.
sound
And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like,
Yeah,
why are you acting like that?
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm already doing photography
Okay.
when this came about.
Gotcha.
So, the stuff that he was involved with in my career is like in a totally different kind of lane. It wasn't no inspiring or nothing like that. It was, I was doing this and I needed somebody to shoot and I needed an outlet.
Yeah.
And when we started doing the promotional company and stuff like that, like I was able to shoot a different like kind of group of people, shooting artists and stuff like that. Cause I was already shooting models and shooting other people in school, but I didn't know anybody in like the urban realm because I wasn't from here. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
It was weird, like, because just hearing people talk, like when I first got here, my little cousin, he would be with me and I'd be like, what'd he say? Because I don't know what the hell he just said.
Yeah.
He's slurring the word, whatever you go, and I'm like, what the heck are they talking about? They was mumble talking to me. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
I didn't understand it.
So, man, I know with us, man, like you came here with like the photographer mindset. You didn't fall in line with the music mindset.
No, I mean, so like when we did our promotional company, we spun that off and started doing music. Like we would throw parties and do stuff like that. And I told you I used to sell CDs in school, so I've always been musically inclined. Like my dad played and stuff like that. Like I love music.
Yeah, gotcha.
I can't rap. I can't make a beat.
Gotcha.
But
I bet you can rap better than most rappers.
Nah, I can't. Nah, that's not me.
Yeah,
but I'll be real. Like,
it's another. I know what you mean. Somewhere in here, I know.
But like, if you put me in the room and like you playing something, like I'll be like, "That's hot." Or that's
the it factor.
That's a no.
You used to do that with Sky a lot. Going through some of his tracks.
Yeah, like with him and a lot of people.
Yeah, kind of A&R and like the music real quick. Like I don't know if this will,
But you see how they all came together as a conglomerate.
Mm-hmm.
Was an artist, and then you were the photographer, and then, like I said, you had. Was you working with Charles?
I mean, I've worked with everybody.
Yeah, you worked with everybody for video.
I remember like Charles. I don't know if you guys know Tony.
Milano?
Yeah. So Tony, he had a shop out in Murfreesboro, and I went out there and like showed him my work, because I was trying to get work and do stuff, and back then he was called Ebb Tight. And everybody wanted to work with Ebb Tight because he's killing everything. And he looked through my portfolio and he was like, yo, man, you dope.
Yeah.
And I just felt like I was certified. Like after that, I'm I'm the dude. So just so happened that day when I was down there, Charles Robinson was down there. So I got to meet with him, talk to him. And, we've been working kind of kicking stuff ever since. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy how that come together.
So we can easily say, before we jump into the next segment, like location shouldn't hinder self-discovery. Being open-minded and diverse unlocks new strengths, perspectives, and opportunities for growth. In a sense, it's because with us, I know with me, it started with music, and I know we're Music City. But once this man taught me film and video, I found a heavy interest in it, and I felt it was the best way to showcase my talents through films.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can bring music, you can bring photography, you can bring all that. All that's needed when it comes to advertising those films. And you've already done that.
Oh, yeah.
See? And that's what I'm saying. Yeah. He didn't let the location hinder him.
True that.
No, like when I was at, I guess you would say, my height of my career, like there wasn't nobody from here to Kentucky or going down to Atlanta that was messing with me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, no,
whether it be shooting models or shooting, artists and stuff like that. I'm not the heavy Instagram user like that. Like I use it because why not? I'm bored. I ain't got nothing else to do. Yeah. But I've never tried to get, 20,000 followers or anything like that. Yeah. Like I've been shooting for a long time with a lot of people, doing a lot of things. And I personally don't have anything to prove to anybody.
That's true, because I mean they're your advertisers anyway when you shoot them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because it's all over the place.
Oh yeah.
So let's jump into lights, camera, pose.
Pose.
Okay. All right.
So let me
Oh,
put this
yeah.
fact out here. So in creative industries like photography, if you didn't know, Black professionals are historically underrepresented. The percentage of Black people working in creative occupations tends to be lower than their overall population, 13.6% in the U.S. as of the 2020 census. So that's for people that didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
So starting with this segment, what were the toughest challenges when starting out as a freelance photographer in this new city? I know you mentioned a few, but what? Because you think of Nashville being predominantly white, right?
Yeah.
Okay, white Atlanta. People don't want to hear that, but
Right.
Charlemagne says
Right.
white Atlanta. So like, you see their work and they see your work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how, man? Like, I know you went and met Tony Delano,
Yeah.
and he kind of gave you that certification.
Yes, sir.
But like in the end, like, did you feel like you had to compete with the white counterparts, or did you?
So where I went to school at, there were, I was like 2 Black people.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
I don't
less than
know if y'all
3%
know.
now.
I don't know if y'all know 28. Holla at 28. But me and him went to school together. He was a
Okay.
graphic designer.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And like he was one of the only other Black people that was just on the campus, let
Yeah.
alone doing the photography portion.
Mm.
And like I was always cutting edge because I'm Black and I'm the brother and I know the cool shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Like real shit.
Yeah.
I came from Cali. Like my swag was different. Like I looked at stuff a little differently.
Right.
But when I got out of school, people didn't want to work with you just because they don't know you.
Yeah.
Like I didn't grow up out south, out north, out east.
Yeah.
Like I ain't tied to nobody. I ain't connected like
Yeah,
some of
yeah,
these
yeah.
people around here. I've been all those places. Like
Yeah.
I used to kick it in Delaware. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I know some stuff,
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
but
right.
Yeah.
I wasn't one of those people. So
Mhm.
like it wasn't an Instagram back then. It wasn't a TikTok. It wasn't YouTube. It wasn't a way to kind of get your name out there like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you had to go and grind. So me and another guy that I went to school with, he used to work downtown in the studio. He was like, yo, man, I can get it on the weekend and we could do whatever we want to.
Gotcha.
Mm.
So we started inviting girls from Clarksville down.
Okay.
Mm.
Clarksville is one of them untapped markets at that point in time.
Feel that.
Like it's a military town. You always got fresh women. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
They getting this
That's what he
money, they
said.
working, they
Right.
trying to figure out how they gonna spend it type
Right.
thing. And everybody thinks they're a superstar.
There you go.
So we was getting on this website called Model Mayhem.
I
It's still
remember that.
running today. It's a
Remember
little
that.
different
Yeah.
than it used to be.
Yeah.
But like we would get on there and we would invite like 4 or 5 girls every other weekend down.
Gotcha.
And one of the people I worked with was Tammy Lee.
Okay.
Okay.
And she, after shooting her the first time,
Yeah.
like she opened me up to all that Clarksville market and
Yeah.
that aspect of modeling and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Like I got my open for like the music situation doing the promotional company,
Mhm.
but like the model portion of it, that really came from Tammy and her opening up for me.
Wow.
She was working with like tons of people back then
Yeah.
in magazines and stuff like that. And she opened it up for me, was sending me girls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it was a lot of people that I worked with then, and a lot of artists up there. And then it just kind of elevated from that.
So do you feel like, I know with us, like a little story with us. So like, did you ever experience lowball? Like people trying to lowball you for your craft?
They still do.
Okay, like, all right,
So this is one thing that
Yeah,
I'll
that's
say.
go ahead.
You know, working in a city like Nashville,
Mhm.
where there's not a lot of diversity, urban stuff,
Yeah.
Mhm.
you can't charge what you want to,
Hmm.
or what you're worth,
Okay.
or you won't be working.
Interesting.
I'm just gonna be real.
Okay. Talk to us.
Okay.
So there's people that I remember starting with that I see their stuff now, and they can charge $15, $16, $100 for one look.
Mm.
You can't do that in Nashville. You just can't. That it's not gonna sustain
Yeah.
it's not gonna sustain. You maybe get that for a little bit,
Yeah. Yeah.
but eventually that's gonna run out. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like if girls are making $15 an hour. How the hell are they gonna pay you $1,500 every month?
That's true.
Right.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
They can only
Yeah.
come to you once or twice.
True.
And it's the same thing for these rappers.
Wow.
I don't care that he got on a $700 outfit.
Yeah.
He ain't got that money. He's still staying up in JC. You know what I'm saying? Like he ain't
wow.
got that bread like that. That's the fugazi stuff for the internet.
Too. I said,
Yeah,
they got
yeah.
all these.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, because see, that's for the character.
See,
You know what I'm saying? This is the character. That don't he don't have money to pay. I mean, you think about it. Like you spent your $700 on your outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then now you gotta have a song.
Yeah.
And let's say you get a beat from band play.
Mhm.
And that's a
Coming
$1,500
out,
beat.
yeah, at least.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you got to go somewhere and you got to lay it down.
Mm-hmm.
And then now you need a feature. Now you got to pay somebody for the feature.
Yeah.
Oh, guess what? Now you got to get it printed up.
Dang.
Now you got to get it pressed up. Now you got to do all this stuff. Oh, and hold on, you need you a CD Baby account and all this stuff. So when it comes to giving the money to the videographer or the photographer, like they ain't got it.
Get the end of the stick.
Just real, they ain't got it.
see, I know, like with us, not only lowballing, but like protecting your work and your integrity of your work is because with me, I learned to protect myself and start making paper trails with clients. Is because me and him was in a situation. Not going to name the big artists we were working with.
Oh, okay.
You know, we wrote 2 video treatments. See, to only be stolen. We shot 1 video, but the other was stolen and utilized by the other director.
Oh yeah, I understand.
And he didn't want to give us credibility.
Why would you?
Right. And to me, because he didn't want to share credit, I'm like, okay, so you pretty much used me because you don't have the skills or the mindset to produce it yourself.
Yes.
And your people are looking at us. But then they want to punk us out in a sense.
I mean, I get it. It happened to me before. There's artists that I shot with, right?
Yeah.
When they come to the studio, I'm like, what do you want? What are we doing? Oh, just shoot me on a white backdrop. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Like, that's what you asked for. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and I got a dude that came to me 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, when he started getting a little money, he go to the white boy. And the white boy get the cool stuff. They get to shoot in this nice, dope location and everything, right? Well, well, when the white boy don't do him right, what happens? He hit me back up.
Come on back,
and asking me to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't hold no ill will against nobody.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to do and go spend your money with, that's cool. I can't tell you how to spend your money. I don't forget that. I put it in the back of my head.
Yeah.
But why do we sell out our own people?
Because we don't care. It's easy to look at another black man and do him dirty. It's hard to look at the white man and do him dirty.
That's crazy. That is interesting.
But now
I'm used to you. I'm used to your face. I'm used to your feel, your slang, the way you talked or your swag. I'm used to that.
Yeah.
But the white guy, you know, I have that weird slave mentality where I'm supposed to bow down. And now I leveled up. So I don't need you niggas no more.
Yeah.
So let me ask you something. Now, would that happen in SoCal, you feel?
It'll happen everywhere.
Yeah, I think it
But in Southern California, it's a little bit different. Like, with not being that many black people and maybe somebody doing it, it's probably don't have nothing to do with you being black.
Okay.
It's got more to be doing with, I'm on another level, so I need to work with you.
Okay, so you can't pull that race card as much.
It's a class situation.
Yeah.
Which one would you want to deal with, the race card or the class card?
Class.
Okay.
Because at least make you work harder to get to that point. Like, okay, well, I'm on class 3 now. So you can fuck with me.
The only difference with the race card is I can't take this off.
Facts.
Like, I can't take, like, this is it.
Yeah, like
I can take this shirt off and put on a nice button-up shirt and come in and look like I got more money.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what I'm saying?
right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a
but
fact.
I can't take being black off. Like, at the end of the day, you can go find the richest black man you can, put him in the most urban shit you can, and go find some damn white dude off the street that ain't got no money, and put him in something nice. And you say, who got more money? They always gonna say the white boy. That's just the perception. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, like, your first paid gig, right? You know, Tammy Lee?
Yeah.
Okay, so besides the first paid gig, let's talk about, like, the models in general. Have you ever had an experience that was very unprofessional? To work?
Stories, yeah.
Yeah, stories.
Yeah,
Because
straight to
I'm
it.
gonna
Yeah,
get
you
straight
got it.
to it because Royce.
Yes.
Now you were talking to a previous model,
Yes.
and she was talking about her experience with a camera
Yes.
operator or
Yes.
or photographer.
Yes. Long story short, you know what I'm saying? Like the photographer, took advantage of her body, with his hands, heads, shoulders, knees, and
Oh
toes.
my
Oh
God.
God.
And she put it out online, you know what I'm saying?
Oh
Like,
wow.
not told like what happened or whatever, but that was somebody. But then when I personally know, she was just telling me like, he was just telling me to get in these weird positions, and next thing you know, his face was where the sun didn't shine, and
Oh.
I'm like, yo, but we were talking about, we were just, I be talking nerd shit sometimes when it comes to art too.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
were talking about photographers and stuff, and we were talking about Nashville photographers, and she was like, when she said about you, she said Brown is the only person that I know that don't be on that fuck shit, pretty much. Like in she said, I feel more comfortable. She said, but some models that like to fish and see, what else is out there with other photographers.
Mhm.
But mainly, she said the photographers that I went to they were reaching out to me.
Yeah.
And that's when she realized, when she changed her thing up, she was like, well, no, I need to be going to these photographers because I'm the one looking at their work. I need to know how they shoot and if it's going to be good for me.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh
She
yeah.
didn't do that with them ones that were putting their faces in places.
Why would she?
Well, she didn't then. She does now. You know what I'm saying? So that question, like, I know you've heard some stories. You don't have to tell the stories, but like,
What's the worst story?
What's the worst story
I mean,
you've heard?
Without
I could
putting
go,
no names.
I could tell names. I don't care. What
Yeah.
they gonna do to me?
Yeah.
Just being real.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like,
All right.
for one,
yeah.
I've been doing this stuff over 20 years.
Yeah.
There ain't no girl that can come say I did something to her.
That's real.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's real.
She can try,
Yeah.
but she a damn lie.
Yeah.
I'm just for
Bars.
real. It's all for me. It's about getting the right picture
Mhm.
and getting my money. Like, I
What
don't
do you
care
have to say
about
to
nothing
those
like that.
photographers who do that though? Like, because I think it just messes up business, man.
I mean, if they gonna let you do it, then
Well,
what can
see,
I
the models
say?
might have let them do it.
What can I say? What can I say? So first
Yeah,
of
they
all,
have to
when
let
I
them do
first started, like, there wasn't photographers.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was, Deshaun Smith shot,
Mhm.
but Deshaun wasn't shooting like a bunch of models and stuff like I was doing. He was like working for this magazine doing travel photography and stuff like that. So
Gotcha.
me and him, like, we never even met until like years later. And it was like, hey, what's up? I've been seeing your stuff. Hey, nice to meet you type situation. Like, me and him was never like a competition thing. But as far as like other people shooting in the city doing what I did, no, there wasn't people like that.
Yeah.
There was people that came along afterwards. But people don't understand like how I came up and what I was doing in this city.
Yeah.
Like, I'm one of the people that gave the city they look.
Yeah.
Like, you can talk about Fade Eastwood, gave them they sound. You can talk about Buck putting the Cashville in Nashville.
Right.
Like, I'm the one that gave them that look.
I dig that.
You had
That's
Eb Tight that was doing graphics and stuff like that. But again, Tony will tell you, like, he's not a photographer. Like, I just do this so I can do my graphics. You know what I'm saying? Like, that wasn't what I was doing. And you had other people that were doing other things, but like, I was shooting for concrete. I was shooting for any artist that had, cover art. Like, I tried to look up and like put together a collage of like all the cover art I've done over the years. Like, I've done at least a couple hundred projects.
Yeah, you have a whole.
You know what I'm saying?
Collage.
And when we talk about models, like, I was the dude that you call when you wanted to be put on.
That's a fact, though. There's something we see now that have progressed. I mean, even shout out to Lakira.
Bills.
Yeah. Shout out to what's the light skinned mommy name that was on she was on that show with Atlanta with
Simone.
the strippers on Simone.
Yeah, work with her. I gave her first paid gig.
Takeshi too.
Wow.
Nelson, we shot some video stuff over there. Like,
Yeah, I mean, like, a lot of these girls, like, I work with.
Sonya Renee. Shout out to that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these girls I've worked with.
Yeah.
Many a times, gave them work. But like, some of the strangest things that I've
let's hear it.
that I used to like be around or be a part of. It was one time when I first started, this dude was shooting. Me and him would shoot together, and girls would come, and he would be like, "Yeah," and I'd be like, standing there like, bro, why you touching her like that? Yeah, move your leg like this. And I'd be like, yo. And that made me feel uncomfortable.
Mhm.
You know, we weren't together. We weren't shooting under a brand together.
Right.
Like he had his and I had mine.
Yeah.
And that was weird to me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not used to that.
Oh, dang.
You know what I'm saying? That's not the way that I get down.
Gotcha.
You know, the girls, I had a girl that used to come from Clarksville all the time. She's gonna know who she is. She don't model no more, so when she watched this, she'll know who she is. She would come and just get naked all the time.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, yo, you gotta put your clothes back on. What the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you running around here naked? That's weird.
Just walking around.
Walking around like she could not wait to get to the studio.
To get naked.
That's crazy.
Dang,
and
bro.
it doesn't have anything to do
The
to
atmosphere,
me.
man.
It don't have nothing to do with me
Yeah.
or nothing. It's just like being behind the camera and stuff. But they said she was like that when they was in the hotel.
Yeah.
Like that was the first thing she wanted to do. Ooh, I'm here. Whew, take my clothes off.
Crazy.
And then she just would do that all the time. Well, the one dude thought that, oh yeah, she want me. I'm like, have you seen her husband? Like he like 6'4", some kind of army dude. There ain't nobody you want to mess with, bro. That is nobody you want to mess with. But I've heard all the stories. I've heard, there was a guy that was here for a couple of years shooting, and everybody started shooting with him. I remember he had an advertisement in Concrete, and he had some girls maybe featured in there before even me. You know what I'm saying? Well, he had a website where he would be like, yeah, I'll shoot you, but we got to do one look topless. Okay. You don't have to like have your nipples out, but you got to be topless.
Yeah.
Well, if you shooting with any girl and she topless, like a nipple gonna pop out. Like that's just gonna happen.
Yeah.
No, rather if it's the bottom of the top, like something gonna pop out.
Yeah. Right.
But he took advantage of that. When something popped out, he.
Oh no.
So he had a website that he was selling those pictures on, and when these girls found out about it, they was calling me.
Yeah.
Not mad at me, but just mad.
Yeah.
Right. And this dude like skipped town and everything. Like they was pissed.
Man, he could at least gave him some cheese.
Oh yeah. So like there was stuff like that was going on. Like I remember him trying to get at some of my girls. He got mad because of some photo shoots that I did that he felt like he should have done.
Yeah.
But to me, I was never in competition with him.
Yeah.
Like I just found that weird.
It seemed like most of the girls who do that, because I mean, you did bring to my attention where it's like, well, they let them do it, or do you think that they maybe try to get a discount off of that or something?
Of course,
because I know some photographers in there.
They women.
Yeah.
They got ass and titties.
I would
like
do that
that's what they gonna do.
I would too.
You know what I'm saying? So now, if you were going to try to get some work from a young lady, what are you guys going to do? You going to pull up in your nicest car?
Oh, yeah.
Put on your freshest shoes. You going to be patting your pocket like you got that bread. So that way you can get, it's the same thing they're going to do. They're going to put the titties out, put the ass out. Like, yeah. You can
we used to roll up in the black truck.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing. You got to use what you got to get what you want.
That's a fact.
That's all.
So let's talk about speaking of graphic designs and websites, right?
Okay.
Let's jump into what you're doing now with the vintage, the Nashville retro. I call it vintage gold, but Nashville retro with attitude.
Yeah.
So let me ask you something. You've always wanted to be in advertisement.
Yes.
And photography has been an outlet for you in this market.
Yeah.
But now you took a 360 back.
Mm-hmm.
And I've noticed some of your shirts. Yes, you have, of course, your Johnny Cash. You have those. But then you have the latest model on there. To me, when we take photos of models, right? Unless you put them in magazines, they're pretty, let's be honest, it's more of an ego boost.
Yeah.
So with you, you're actually creating merch now.
Yeah.
You're giving them an outlet. You're not only just taking a photo for them, but he's actually giving them some type of distribution now.
Yeah, I mean,
it's crazy.
It just when you're a photographer, I don't care if it's 2001 or 2025.
Yeah.
There's only one way you can make money, and that's when you push the button. It doesn't usually happen afterwards. You guys shoot a music video. How do you get paid for shooting the music video?
Right.
You might get plays, but you don't start getting paid off them plays until it get a whole lot of plays. People don't understand. That's a fraction of a cent. They ain't gonna do nothing for me.
Right.
That's why I quoted you $5,000 because this is the amount of work I'm going to do, and I ain't getting it on the back end.
Right.
So when it came to doing that, like I talked to Inkwell, Sean, and we just, we're talking about creating something and doing something.
Gotcha.
And we started kind of throwing ideas and stuff like that. And we each got like, maybe 10, 15 different designs.
Yeah.
But
see
it's
that.
just about,
Yeah.
when's the right time to do this or when's the right time to do that.
Yeah.
There's still some stuff there we working out.
Yeah.
I really wanted to kind of gauge and see how people liked it and stuff like that. I got tons of ideas in my head, but again, like the photography thing is something that I couldn't put on the back burner in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like I love it and I love to do it.
Yeah.
But it ain't just me.
So like you're creating these designs, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said he was a graphic designer.
So how long have you been?
Well, I'm not.
You do.
Yeah, I'm commenting on it. I'm doing stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's a collaborative thing.
Gotcha.
There's some ideas that I have. I'm not a graphic designer. Have I done graphic design? Yes.
Gotcha.
So you kind of like Tony Delano. He does actual graphic design, but he's not a photographer. Like
Yes, exactly.
So
it's the reverse. It's the reverse.
That makes sense.
Like for example, like Tony is somebody that I would love to collaborate with and maybe do a brand or bring something like that. But for me, I would want to pay Tony what he's worth.
Facts.
You know
That's
what I'm
true.
saying?
Yeah.
And I can't afford it.
I dig it.
Just be real. Like that man's a legend.
Yeah.
Y'all call me a legend when I started. Like that man's a legend, and people don't give people like that with respect.
Yeah. Definitely get respect.
Do.
I mean, you a legend too. Hey, legends on legends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Y'all got to make this happen, Tony.
Yeah.
For real, man.
Nah, man. It don't even like he's came to me and was like, "Yo, like let's
humble.
do this
I've
or
heard
do that."
like,
very humble.
Yeah.
But like I said, I respect him too much. If I want to come to him with something like that, then I want to come to him correct.
With some, I dig
you know what I mean? So it's just that's really a respect thing. It's not too many people that I respect like that in this city.
That's real.
But he's definitely one of them people.
That's real.
So let me ask you this. So Nashville, of course, let me put this out there, is a home to over 500 freelance photographers, creating both competition and collaboration opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
With that going on, apparently you're still a photographer, but you could take a back seat.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So let's talk about these iPhone photographers.
All right.
Let's talk about it.
So smartphones now account for 85% of photos taken worldwide, changing how we think about photography.
Yo. Yes.
So what's your take on iPhone photographers in today's landscape?
Oh, so I think the iPhone has its place.
Okay.
People always ask me, "Hey, I'm going on vacation. What kind of camera should I get?" You shouldn't. Use your damn phone. Use your damn phone. You got an iPhone 15. Like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, the tech in there is killing everything.
Yeah.
You ever been outside? You ever been to a concert and it's late at night and you pull out your iPhone?
Yeah.
What does it do? It adjusts to the light.
It really does.
You don't have to
auto
do shit.
ISO everything.
You don't have to do shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Only people that mess with moving shit is weird, okay?
Yeah.
Like they let the computer do it.
Yeah.
Now, if I gave you my camera and I told you to shoot a picture, you'd be like, I don't know how to fucking do this.
Yeah.
Which dial do I turn? You don't know.
That's a fact.
So there's always a place for everything.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be that old dude like, oh yeah, these iPhone photographers. If that's how you want to get it, then that's how you get it.
All right, so I'm gonna add this thing.
But there is a difference. Like if you pick up your camera, just photographers, and you shooting your real camera like this versus like this, then I don't think you know photographer.
Okay.
That's weird to me. Why are you looking at the back panel?
Okay. So with that being said, I'll set up a scenario. If you were to shoot, if there was a competition between the latest iPhone and then your latest camera and y'all had a photography shootout, how you think it's gonna work? Who got it?
That's all subjective.
Yeah,
it's all subjective.
Who can shoot the most pictures?
I don't
in the
think,
least amount of time.
I don't think so. That's the weird thing, like with the whole photography game. Like when people are like, "Yo, we beefing as photographers." Like how?
You want to have a mixtape?
No, but how are you beefing?
No, you're not beefing.
So like for example,
right.
if we in the hood and I don't like you,
okay.
Like we gonna fight.
Okay.
If I whoop your ass,
Mhm.
then nigga, I'm better than you.
Okay.
Yeah.
But how are we gonna compete in photography? Like
Really?
you might like something,
Yeah.
and then he don't like
That's
it.
true because
It's
art
all
is subjective. Yeah.
Okay.
Like there is nothing that's gonna say that this is good and this is bad. I done seen some really horrible pictures that people act like are hard.
Okay.
No, that's
You know what I'm
okay.
saying?
Talk about that.
Like there's some people that shot pictures in this city
Mhm.
that like talk shit about me. And
Really?
I'm like, have you seen their pictures before? I
Yeah.
don't even remember the kid name,
I got you.
but he used to shoot pictures in the club.
Got you.
And I said, they come out looking radioactive. I'm like, why are they orange? I know this woman.
I got
Like
you.
her color is not that color.
Got you.
Like I shot that girl all the time. Like that was what I did. I shot her.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I can pull up pictures of her now.
Yeah.
And we shot a lot. He shot pictures of her in the club and he posted it. And somebody said, you know, oh, this is a dope picture. And he was like, yeah, I don't be shooting that trash like Brown and somebody else.
Dang.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, this dude was blocked from everything.
Okay.
Not by me. He blocked me
Oh damn.
because he hit me up saying, hey, let's do a trade.
Yeah.
I said, how we going to trade, bruh? You a photographer, I'm a photographer. What the fuck do I want from you?
Yeah.
I don't need pictures.
Yeah, what are we
That's
doing?
weird,
Y'all
man.
take pictures of each other?
So
Is that-
yes, that's what he wanted, and I was like, "Nah, bruh." So you know, I'm very direct,
Yeah.
but I didn't come at him like that. Like I told him, "Nah, respectfully, nah, bro, ain't nothing I could do with you."
Yeah.
So he started blocking me, and when he talked mess about me, I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
I had to go to somebody else's house,
Mm.
pull up their computer,
Yeah.
and go look at the picture and be like, "Bruh, what the fuck wrong with you?"
Yeah.
You know, so that back then, like I was doing all kind of stuff. Like I was everywhere. Like I get why you would want to talk about me,
Yeah.
but like how are we competing? What's going to be the factor? There's only one factor. That's me beating the shit out you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I saw him like about a month after he did that. Somebody, was Ice Cold J. When he used to, I know I can pull up all kind of names, but when he used to do this like model thing,
I remember
he
that.
begged me to come, and I told him I'm not shooting, because I'm not giving these people no free shit
That was at the
from
SCA
me.
Awards, right?
Mhm.
No, this was way before,
before they
they
did
started doing,
that
not
whole
before the
line of
SCAs,
thing.
but before he started messing with that kind of thing.
Yeah, doing that.
Like he was just doing his own thing. So I went there just to go and just to see how the environment was.
Gotcha.
I had my work hoodie on and everything.
Yeah.
And I saw that dude walk to the door, and in my head, I beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do it because this is that man's event.
Mhm.
And I wouldn't disrespect him like that.
I dig it.
Like that was wrong. No matter how I might have felt about him, I wouldn't do his an event like that. You know what I'm saying? So it was like I don't know what the hell the dude doing now. Like, but like that ain't cool. Like you don't know me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not from Nashville, so I'm looking
Right.
at stuff a little different. And there's people in this city that do love me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they might not be the nicest of people, but you know, they love me.
Well, let me ask you something. So between you, Capo, Tony Delano, y'all the major hitters. Like, I don't know about Charles, but I just know like it seems like y'all have been implanted, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy how much implants can take over this small local city. I'm not no disrespect.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying like I'm a military brat too, so I know like it's like we're able to see things outside the box.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
mean,
everybody's contained.
I don't feel like me being outside or me not being from here, you know, helped me take over the city. But I feel like it did influence my style or the way that I looked at things.
I feel you.
Because like people gonna tell you messing around with me, like they used to like tell people, hey, bro, Brown here.
Yeah.
Like, don't get offended if he say you don't like this or something like that.
Yeah.
He just that's just him.
Yeah.
Like, don't take it personal. And I've had people get mad that I don't like your music or I don't like them. Like, what you want? Why are you talking to me then?
Yeah.
Leave me out of it. I didn't ask to be invited into this conversation.
Yeah.
But when you do ask me, I'll tell you my opinion. But again, it's all subjective.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like Young Thug.
Feel you.
Yeah.
I don't like his music.
Yeah.
Should the man be locked up? No, but
Right.
I don't like his music, but that don't mean anything.
Yeah.
You know,
Find it hard to separate that.
Young Dolph. Like I work with Young Dolph.
Yeah.
Do I like Young Dolph? No.
Got you.
God rest his soul.
Right.
But I didn't like him.
I got you.
He was rude when I shot him. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
wow.
Like I didn't. I'm so the night that we shot Young Dolph was Kobe Bryant's last game, and y'all know he went off for 60, right?
Yeah.
So that day, I was just annoyed
Probably,
that I had to
miss
be
it.
in Memphis shooting pictures of this rapper.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I don't care who he is.
Yeah.
I want to watch my bruh.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I want to watch
Yeah.
Bean.
Yeah.
And then to not be there to see it, and then the way they had us running around the city and just being like rude to our time,
Yeah.
like I didn't like him.
I understand.
You know
I
what
got
I'm
you.
saying? But then you reverse, and then I shoot Key Glock, and he comes to my studio, and we do all this stuff, and it was a totally different feel. It was the same camp,
Got
but
you.
it was a different feel.
different feel.
You know
Wow.
what I'm saying? So like I'm entitled to have my opinion.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know, there's a lot of
Yes.
people in this city I don't particularly like.
Yeah, I feel you.
But I've worked with them, and I will work with them, and I say, "Hey, what's up? How you doing? You know, we good."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I remember the first time I met Young Buck. He was rude as hell. I didn't want to talk to him and do nothing with him no
I
more.
feel you.
Like, man,
I
go the
feel you.
fuck on. Who the hell are you? You know what I'm saying? Just because you rap
Right.
with 50 Cent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, to this day, like, I could call him up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I've done tons of work with him.
That's
but-
real.
You know, like I said, it's to each his own. Like, I don't have to like you to
Yeah.
work with you or
Yeah,
nothing
yeah.
like
It's all
that.
business.
So it's all business.
Yeah, don't take it personal.
Like
And it's hard because a lot of us do take it personal.
Yeah.
You know, we just
Yeah.
got to get out of our egos. It's
Yeah.
like, in the end, I'm taking it personal because I'm
Right.
insecure about something to me.
Mm.
Yeah.
You activated some type of trauma.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to lash out on Brown. Because
Mm.
you told me I was terrible. And he was just like, man, I'm not feeling it. Now I'm lashing out on Brown when I should have lashed out on you.
Yeah.
You know.
Like, how your homie
Yeah.
set you up like that? Y'all listen to that?
But
You don't
Brown
know how
was
many
like-
times I'm like, who they got in the room
Right,
listening
right.
to this stuff?
Yeah.
Like, for real.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that walk around the city that don't like me.
I dig
That
it.
don't like me and know me.
I understand.
But you are the
You know?
anti-hero, though. They didn't like Batman, but look, they needed him.
But I'm for real. It's
Yeah.
real. Like, you know, there's other people that, you know, maybe you DJ and you take pictures and stuff like that. And then they like, oh, yeah, one day he told me that I shouldn't do this.
Mhm.
And I had to think back and be like, who the hell was that? And oh, I remember when that dude came through.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was doing video. He didn't know what he was doing.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, do I shoot video? No.
Mm.
Every videographer y'all can name, I know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, these eyes work not
Yeah.
just behind my camera, but behind the video camera.
Yeah.
Like, I know what look good and what don't look good.
That's a
And
fact.
I'm trying to give the young man some knowledge.
Yeah.
And he, you know, goes off. He starts talking crap.
Yeah.
I see a model. I was in Zaxby's.
Mhm.
And she honked her horn. Brown. I had never talked to her before.
Yeah.
She pulled over and just had to tell me this whole story about this dude was dogging me. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, I don't even know who you talking about.
Dang.
It didn't take to a month later. I was like, oh, that's right. He did come to the studio that one time.
Yeah.
Like, dang, man, I didn't know you felt like that. Why you didn't just pull up on me and talk to me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
feel
saying?
you.
Why I gotta be like that? Why I gotta
Yeah.
be some beef? Again,
Yeah.
I'm a photographer. What are we beefing
Yeah,
about?
what are you
Like,
beefing
what
about?
kind of beef is this? This ain't like no rap beef where, you know, we gonna pop, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
What we gonna do? Oh, we gonna get a model and we gonna shoot her together and
we
see who
gonna
got
throw
the
SD
best
cards
pictures.
at each other.
Yeah.
That should be
Like,
like
come on,
that
bruh.
should be like a t-shirt. I'm a photographer.
Yeah.
And then what's the beef?
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
like,
Yeah, like
that's weird to me. I don't understand it.
I
So,
will say this, and because you're going towards the end, I will say this. With Brown, I'm gonna tell you this. We've rented out his studio handfuls of times, where not only were we were doing, you know, videos and stuff like that.
photography.
We
too.
were even doing photography. We were
Yeah,
doing photography inside his studio where he does photography. So I don't know how you cannot hate. How do you hate this man when he's like, oh, they want to shoot, let him shoot. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They renting out the spot. Business is business. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, he's even, you know, helped out here. I'm gonna pull this out for you, whatever. Here, y'all want to use the white thing? Like, he wants you to be what you want to be and reach your potential. And we knew as a group, you know what I'm saying, all together, we knew video was our strong point. We didn't
Right,
tell people
right.
come do some pictures.
Right.
We had some little side things, like, you know,
Mhm.
somebody we knew personally, but like, other than that, he opened this door for whatever creativity that we needed within the time that we had. You know what I'm saying? And we appreciate that.
Yeah.
I don't know how
No
people. I
problem,
don't
no
know. Y'all got
problem, no
problems
problem.
if y'all got problems with Brown, bro. I don't know what it is.
I mean, it's a lot. Like
Yeah.
I hear it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't play into it. I've
Good.
been doing this for a long time. When I started in the city, there wasn't nobody that was doing the stuff that I was doing.
Mhm.
So there wasn't like a competition thing.
Yeah.
I was in a lane by myself.
Mm.
You know, I've done King Magazine, Double XL. You know, I did Jet. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like I've done well over 40 to 50 different publications.
That's crazy.
You know,
God.
you talking about
Talk
on
to
the
me.
cover, inside, whatever, no matter if it's artist or model situation.
Mhm.
You know, I've shot tons of artists, platinum selling artists, Grammy winning artists,
Yeah.
you know, not only artists, producers.
Yeah.
You know, somebody like Bandplay. I remember Bandplay used to have my promotional company and my record label
Yeah.
shirt on. Like
Mm.
he was a person in the crowd just
Mm.
cheering it on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
And then when he decided like he was gonna really put his foot down
Mhm.
and start producing, like everybody knew this man could
Right,
produce,
right.
Right.
he came to me and we shot pictures for him the first time. And he was doing stuff on Faded and a whole bunch of
Mhm.
other websites.
Nice.
And then he take off from there.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of people in this city that's got motion
Yeah.
that I done work with, that I done help bring up. I wouldn't say put on because that's just weird to say
I
you
feel
put
you on
somebody on.
I feel you
Yeah.
on
But
that.
you know, you always got to help levitate somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
You know, I don't care what you're doing. If you're a photographer, a model,
Right.
any type of professional in the entertainment industry,
Mhm.
like you need some good pictures. You
Right,
need a
that's true.
headshot. You need something.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a headshot on yours right now, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, you
Yeah.
need that, right?
Yeah.
If people look at you different when you put that
That's
thing
true.
out, they like,
got no
oh, I
room.
see you.
Yeah, I ain't
Hey,
got
I
no
see
room
you.
but for my head.
You know
That's
what I'm
it.
saying?
You
You know what I'm
shoulders
saying?
on my
So
shoulders.
like you, like it was a lot of time spent like convincing people
Mhm.
that you need my services. You know, I would do consultations with people.
Mhm.
I will never forget. My homeboy was dating a model,
Mhm.
and she didn't like me.
Mhm.
I know she didn't like me. She talked about me, and other people talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
They know who you were.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he was like, bro, you know, just come on, just do this with her or whatever. I said, all right. So she came to the studio, did a shoot, and it was crap
Mm.
because she didn't plan. She didn't have no direction. And I told her that.
Mhm.
I was like, I do consultations. We can sit down, we can come up with a plan and do that, right?
Mhm.
She laid out all her stuff, like her whole portfolio.
Mhm.
And I told her, I said, you need to get all the pictures printed.
Mhm.
So she get to the studio and like it's like, I didn't print them. Like I told you, you got to get them printed.
Right.
We're not talking
Yeah. Yeah.
until you go to Walgreens and spend the 7 cents to print
Ah, yeah,
a
yeah.
4x6.
Okay.
Like there's a reason why I'm telling you to do this.
Mhm.
Right.
So
right.
she come and do it. We set it out. I start going through it. We're like, we don't need this. We don't need this. Like, look, this is what you need.
Okay.
We go back. We hammer it out. She uses my makeup artist.
Mhm.
She goes with the idea that I said.
Mhm.
And she saw that the level that she took was totally different.
Mhm.
And then she started doing other stuff. And then it was, oh, Brown and stuff like
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah.
Now, I didn't forget. I know who she is.
Yeah.
Like, nothing's changed.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember that shit you was talking.
Yeah. Yeah.
But why I gotta be a dick?
Do you want to share your story? Well, join us at Clean Cut Conversations. Let's talk mental health, relationships, finance, self-care, and entrepreneurship. Your voice matters, so let's make a difference together. Yes, we are back. If you're interested in being on the show, hit us up at cleanandcutconvos@gmail.com. Share your story, and perhaps we can have you on the show. So let's get back to it right now. So we were talking about just the overall craziness in the clientele in Nashville.
Yeah.
So, like, let's add one more story to that. I know we had that break. If we could just kind of piggyback, if you remember what we were talking about.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like doing what I do, you're gonna have jealousy. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have people that are not gonna like you just because like the type of people I'm dealing with. You dealing with, you know, beautiful women or, you know, very powerful, influential people in the city. So it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Like I don't take it personal.
Yeah.
I still work with you.
Yeah.
I still take your money. But just know I remember this. So the price that you getting versus the price that somebody else getting ain't gonna be the same.
Right, right.
You know? I might have to bust your head for the one time.
Yeah.
Just to let you know and humble you a little bit.
That's real.
That's crazy. Yep.
You know,
I agree.
like that's one thing that I used to do is do the consultant stuff. LaKyra, I consulted with her.
Shout out LaKyra B.
Yeah. Now look at her.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing with Ice Cold J. You know, when he started rapping, like this man he didn't have no women and models and stuff like that. That's what he was doing.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He came to me and I was like, bro, you know, you got this like LL vibe.
Yeah.
You should have some fine women everywhere you go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's when he came up with that team certified stuff.
I do remember that.
And just because of me shooting, 15 women, like they had friends and friends had friends.
Yeah.
Like I didn't really have to do a lot of like advertisement. Like
there you go.
You had the people that I work with, and then you had Concrete Magazine. That's 10,000 copies that was in the city that somebody was seeing every month.
For sure.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure. You saw them things everywhere.
Yeah, you saw them. You saw them everywhere. You know, I was on the front, I was on the back, I was all through the thing.
Yeah.
So there was just certain things that I just didn't have to do because I already done that work.
See?
You know, when I first came to Concrete the first time, they told me no.
Dang.
They told me no.
Man. What made them say yes?
Me working.
That's it.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah,
what
went down to the SCA Awards one year, and he was up there, the owner and Capo. I don't know what Capo's role was at the time, but they were sitting together. And I went up to him like I want to work. I want to put some stuff out there.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh yeah, man, I've been seeing your pictures. Like holler at me when we get back to the city. And we got back to the city, I started doing stuff. You know?
Wow.
Shout out to Capo.
Yeah, shout out to Capo.
So, like, let's conclude this. So, if there's any last words that you can tell an upcoming photographer coming into Nashville, whether he is an implant or a native, what would it be?
It's harsh, but I would say do a different job. Like, why do you want to do this? No, for real. Like, I don't understand it. I don't get like the allure about it. But I know some people are very passionate about doing this stuff and love it.
Yeah.
Like start small. You know, find you some people that you can grind with and grow with and come up with your style and then branch out from there.
Are you taking any interns?
No.
Okay.
No.
Right.
Like no, it's not even a past that stuff. Like I closed my studio in 2019. Like a lot of people don't even know that. I mean, people still hit me up and be like, "Hey, I know. I know."
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that, but I had my studio for well over 10 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was a staple. Like there's so many. Like I wish I could pull up the music videos that were shot there, so you could see the diversity.
Facts.
Like one time, Charles Robinson did this like.
Where he's falling through a sky.
No.
Oh, okay.
Not even that. But he did this like rave there.
Oh, okay.
And it was a bunch of like young white dudes and this white rapper. I don't remember his name. I think it was Fish or something like that. He was on the cover of Concrete at one point in time. White boy. Ain't too many of those.
Yeah.
Right.
Y'all know who it is if you see it or find it. But they did like this rave in the studio.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have known that there was my studio there. You know, there's several things that have been shot there.
Yeah. I
that
know.
a
We
lot
did
of
3
people
videos
don't know.
there. You already know it was there.
Nobody knows it was there. But like, I can't take an intern because like, what you gonna do? Like, I'm shooting guerrilla style like a mug now. I shoot where I want, when I want, how I want to. Like, I don't really have like a set schedule anymore.
I dig it.
Like now I shoot stuff that maybe I just seen something and I'm like, I want to try that.
Right.
Gotcha.
You know, I don't really even take a lot of clients. You know, Jay Spence with Cocky, clothing. Like I've been shooting with him for years.
Yeah.
I was the first person to really shoot his stuff. And I brought him in the studio. We started doing stuff. And, you know, of course, me, like, I'm giving him that talk, you know, letting him know if this is what you want to do, this is what you got to do, this is what you need to be doing. And he still references that to this day.
Yeah.
But, like, if he called me, I'd do something because of that history.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But there's been people that hit me up that I turn it down. Somebody came into town and was doing something at the Bootsy show and wanted me or something like that. I'm like, nah, man, that ain't me.
Glad you didn't go.
You know what I'm saying?
'Cause there was drama down there.
Yeah, but
tonight.
like I sent. I don't know if you guys know Rich Pyramids, Dante. Shout out to Dante.
Okay.
Like I sent him down there.
Okay.
Like that's more his lane. That's what he can do.
That's real.
That's not nothing I want to do.
Got you. Got you. So, man, Brian, I appreciate you coming down, bro. I
No
know,
problem.
like, we could sit here and talk all day on stories, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I could go on and on and on and on
Yeah, yeah.
about all kind of stuff, But I could be a Cat Williams and talk about somebody or something like that.
That's fine.
Hit them with the
Yeah, we
truth, but like why? Like I said, why am I giving somebody some free promo, regardless of what they're doing in their life now?
See.
I feel that.
So once again, man, I appreciate your presence in the studio.
No problem.
And like I said, I am Josh Lovett, the host of the show with my co-host.
Royce Massengill, baby.
And we are out.